Chris, what is our fourth main topic today?
This comes from Venish. Well, I guess we won't be getting Sebastian Stan as young Luke Skywalker anytime soon. Variety just did a big Star Wars cover story, and the cover is beautiful. And in it, they said that the flopping of Solo, a Star Wars story, made them decide not to recast younger versions of old characters anymore. I think that's a shame because there could be some great storytelling with younger Luke and another Solo. What do you think?
All right, thanks a lot for writing this in. Listen, the one Star Wars project that they had ever done, and you guys know me, I'm a big Star Wars guy, and I am fully, proudly, even a Disney era Star Wars fan, although Disney era Star Wars, they've made some stuff I'm not so thrilled with. Still, overall, love Rogue One, love The Force Awakens, quite liked Solo, as a matter of fact. I thought
fun.
Solo was really good. But here's the thing, when they announced Solo, that was the one for me that I said almost from day one, I was like, wait a minute, why are you making this? Why are you making a Han Solo movie without Harrison Ford when we just had, we literally just watched Harrison Ford on screen 2 weeks ago in The Force Awakens, right? It's like, this does not seem like a wise move right now. It doesn't seem like now. They went out and got this kid, Alden Ehrenreich. And I thought Alden did great. I really do. I thought he did wonderful. I thought, Ron Howard came in and delivered a fun space adventure kind of film. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it quite a bit, but let's call spade a spade. It became the only Star Wars film ever in history to flop. Now that had something to do with its budget, because with Lord Miller, who went in and started to make a Solo movie that we never agreed to make, because they had agreed with Lucasfilm to make a totally different kind of movie. They snuck behind their backs, started to make another kind of movie. They got canned from it. They brought in Ron Howard, whatever. But because of all that drama, that budget became one of the most expensive films in cinematic history at $300 million. So they needed to make somewhere in the $700 to $800 million range just to break even on that puppy. And spoiler, they didn't. They lost money on a Star Wars film. Never been done before. Now, since that happened, there's been a lot of people who appreciate the film. And what was the hashtag movement, like make Solo 2 happen or something like that? There was a big hashtag movement on that. And I've told people they're never going to do a Solo 2. I'd be down for it. I totally would. But I told people they're never going to do it. And certainly they didn't. And then, like the person who wrote in said, a lot of people started thinking Sebastian Stan is going to play a young Luke Skywalker. I'm like, why? Because he looks like him. Okay, that's always a good reason to, anyway. But it kind of sounds now like that's never going to happen. This comes to us from the good folks over at Screen Rant, who wrote the following. In an expansive Star Wars profile with Vanity Fair, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy opened up about the young Han Solo recasting for the 2018 anthology movie centered on the character. When asked about the possibility of other iconic characters getting the same treatment, getting a younger actor to come in and play them as a younger version, Kennedy confirmed that the Star Wars franchise won't be recasting any other characters in the same vein, with the studio having learned their lesson after Solo's failure. See what Kennedy said below. And Kathleen Kennedy said the following. There should be moments along the way when you learn things. Now it does seem so abundantly clear that we can't do that. We can't go in and just recast old classic characters. Now, I still completely believe that that's exactly what they should have done with Carrie Fisher's Princess Leia in the final movie, because the movie had her in the script. They needed her. Instead, they compromised the movie by taking old unused footage of Carrie Fisher from other movies and try to shoehorn it in. And they did a complete disservice to Carrie Fisher by doing it. They did a complete disservice to the movie as a whole by doing it. And that is the one time that I think they should have recast to carry out and carry the ball across the finish line, since Carrie wasn't here to do it herself. That being said, I have to say I agree with Lucasfilm on this, that look, I applaud the attempt, but clearly this did not work. Now, it's funny that we're saying that on practically the eve of Obi-Wan coming out, which in and of itself was a recasting of a classic character in many different ways. But still, I am really not all that interested. While Luke Skywalker is, to this day, I know this sounds very boringly vanilla of me, Luke Skywalker to this day is my all-time favorite Star Wars character. I'm not interested in a young Luke series. I'm really not. If I want those stories, I'll read them in a book. Don't get me wrong. What they did at the end of Mandalorian season 2, big fan service, big pop, great moment. I even kind of dug what they did with him in the Book of Boba Fett, the sort of Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
The chapter of Boba Fett. Yes. I even like what they did there. But that, again, that wasn't recasting the role. I'm not interested in seeing a, young Yoda thing, although we're probably going to see a young Yoda in some of the High Republic era stuff. I'm not interested in seeing a young R2-D2 when he was just a little toaster. I'm not interested in a young Jabba the Hutt. I'm not interested in that. I want stories to move forward, not backwards. So I, for one, think this is great news. That's my take on it. Anyway, Chris, you hear them, Lucasfilm saying, listen, we learned our lesson from Solo. People were not, even though the movie turned out pretty good, people were not interested in it. They didn't go out to see it. They didn't support it. We've learned our lesson. Good move, bad move on their part. What do you think?
It's an understandable move. I hope that there's a loophole of we get a Donald Glover series of him as Lando, because he was great.
Well, they were talking about doing that. I think I'm taking from this that project has quietly died. Like from this comment, she's saying, I don't think we're going to see a young Lando thing now.
Hope springs eternal.
Because I agree with you. He was really good in that.
Good. He was so good, so charismatic. I loved him in it. I think this is fine though. And something we've talked about on this show before as well is I'm really, to an extent, over this same group of folks being used over and over again. I want story. It's a whole galaxy that's far, far away. I want to meet new people. I want new adventures. I want new characters. And so
this sounds like a speech you'd give Logan. So sorry. Oh, sorry, Logan. Sorry.
No, I love you. I don't want to meet new people. Have you tried dating in Los Angeles? Ew.
Oh, rat nest.
Disgusting. It's so horrible. I want smothering monogamy. That's all I want. So
hello, meet herpes.
So I really do want other characters though, and I want to have other people in this universe, because I don't need to keep having these moments in between everything. Like you were saying, there are books I can read. There are comics, there are novels. There's a whole backlog of stuff if I want to go revisit these character stories. And while I am really excited about Obi-Wan and filling in that gap, it's mostly because of Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
I love him so much. I would much rather have fresh new IP within the Star Wars ideology. It'd be fun.
I mean, I love what you're saying, because for a long time, I give this analogy. If you live in a big town or a small town, by seeing how long it takes you to bump into somebody when you walk out the door. If you walk out your front door and you're no more than 3 steps out your door and you're bumping into 3 people you're in a real small town. If you can walk around like in LA for a couple of hours before running into anybody you're in a big town. Star Wars, for the last number of years, as much as I like the Disney era too, but particularly under the Disney era, seems like every time I open the door to step into the Star Wars universe, I'm bumping into 8 people I already know. Like, it just seems like for a long time, they've continued to shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink this universe. Like, how many, I know it's a joke now, but how many times are we going to go back to Tatooine?
Oh, that's what I was going to say. How about a baby Tatooine?
We need Greedo's story.
Baby Tatooine story.
It only had a couple.
When it had a little bit of water on
Before it became this desolate waste. I mean, that, I don't know, Ray, do you want to see more stories about younger characters we know, or what do you think?
I'm very... Only a baby Darth Maul would be fun for me. But other than that, I'm down with new characters.
Maul, baby, he'll cut his arms for you.
That's where I think things get a little thing, because when they do new stuff, it kind of doesn't match with what we've seen. Like some of the technology, I think, looks better, obviously, than what was supposed to be in the future. That's the thing that always got to me about Star Wars. How the ships, I think in Phantom Menace, look way more advanced than the ships in
sometimes
things like that, they start getting all mixed up. So, but you know what, it's sci-fi, it's fantasy, come on, I can't really complain about any of that stuff. That's nitpicking at that point. But yeah, I would like to see new characters is what I'm saying.
All right, guys, question for you is, what do you think about this new position coming from Lucasfilm that we're not going to recast classic characters anymore to tell younger stories about them? We learned our lesson with Solo. Is that maybe a short-sighted point of view, or is it a thank God you learned that lesson point of view? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of this video, Athletic Greens. Now, when you get really busy, and you guys know that Ann and I are really busy, one of the first things that you sacrifice is eating healthy. And you know, I simply have never eaten enough vegetables in my diet, I admit it. So for a long time, I've been looking for a really good all-in-one supplement that helps me get those nutrients and vitamins that my body needs. And thank goodness I found Athletic Greens AG1. So what is Athletic Greens AG1? Well, with one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, and probiotics to help you start your day right. And for me and Ann, it's easy. We get up in the morning, we pour a big glass of water and add 1 scoop of AG1. So many people today are taking some kind of multivitamin, and it's important to choose one with high quality ingredients that your body will actually absorb. And it's cheaper than getting all those different supplements yourself. And on top of giving you all those vitamins and nutrients, it also supports better sleep and quality of recovery and supports mental clarity and alertness. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/mailbag. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/mailbag to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.